reimagining tax policy is important because the current tax policy was set almost 100 years ago. If we don't reimagine tax policy today, that means the tax policy will be so outdated, then the democratic nature of the Canadian society may be at risk.
We have careers that are more mobile, we have a more knowledge-based economy. We also have family situations that are vastly different than a generation ago. For my taste, too much of our tax system is rooted in family structures and economic structures that were suitable for the 1950s and 60s, and perhaps less so now.
We're in an interesting moment in Canada, I think, right now, and it's a moment that gives rise to lots of new questions in the tax policy field, and so that's why this is such a terrific time to reimagine tax.
We used to know where people lived. We used to know the residents of individuals and companies. Now you have a virtual business. It exists only on the internet. It doesn't have any offices anywhere. It doesn't have people. It doesn't have factories. It's all with supply lines. It's coming from someplace else. So this is something that the income tax had never contemplated, and the GST had never contemplated, that people would be buying digital products online from we don't know where. We don't even know where it's coming from.
This wave of automation is robotic automation, meaning robots are doing things that humans used to do. So the impact on workers is huge. Some workers will lose their job permanently. According to the research, many workers will become quote-unquote surplus humans, meaning they're able-bodied people, but they have no job to do. Also, automation will enable a lot of workers to become freelancers. So in the end, fewer workers work as employees. That will reduce employment income, therefore reducing the tax base.
Artificial intelligence will have a profound impact on taxation, certainly on all areas of law. And I think that the impact is just starting to unfold now, in particular as regards the professions, the judiciary, and policymakers. The fact that they are using sources from outside of the traditional tax filing process to make those determinations, such as looking at social media, for example, sharing digital information with tax authorities around the world, the impact of that is fairly profound and starting to be seen throughout the Canadian tax community.
I think we're in an era where we're trying to think about how does big data affect tax collection? Are there things that the Canada Revenue Agency might be able to learn about Canadian taxpayers that they didn't know about in the past? Are there better ways of collecting tax revenues as a result of those big data opportunities?
So that's a lot on the line if our system doesn't work. So it's a good time to reimagine the system so that it is sustainable, it works, it's perceived to be fair, which is part of the Canadian democratic society. But the biggest challenge is political leadership. Someone who has the vision, wisdom, and try to take the reform to the next level, doing the right thing and correcting the problems in the system.